Welcome to a Saginaw Valley State University Cardinal Signing Day special as we welcome the latest group of recruits to join the SVSU football program. I'm JJ Boehm, joined by SVSU head football coach Ryan Brady, and we're eager to introduce all of you to the latest group of recruits to join here at SVSU. It's been a heck of a year here at SVSU overall. Ryan, you and I were talking about it yesterday, kind of getting ready for this. You know, you look at all the things. Latest data comes out for SVSU, 97% overall graduation rate for all of our graduates. We've got the new College of Business expansion set to open here in a few weeks. CSB accredited, top 5% internationally. Our engineering students in the racing program go out, top 20 finish in the world. Computer programming, we're ranked number 2 in the state of Michigan. Moot court program, 17th in the nation. They go down, just finished 4th in the appellate brief writing for the whole nation. You've got all these football student athletes that are coming in. They're going to work hard. They're highly competitive, but they're joining an SVSU student body that really embodies many of those same characteristics.
Yeah, it's exciting. That's why it makes this a special place, and you can see why there's so many special people. Guys like Matt LaFleur and Jeff Heath, and all across the board in all kinds of athletic sports that we're playing at the highest level and competing. And our alums and our students here, they're doing very well. And it's because we got great academics, and this is a great place to be.
Talk about what you and your staff were looking for in terms of this recruiting class overall, and kind of what this whole recruiting span has been like as you went out and evaluated and ultimately brought in the class that we're welcoming today.
Yeah, obviously this is a culture class for us, and so the focus is on bringing in the right kind of people. And so, our focus has been on recruiting like-minded people, and so we've been looking for winners and looking for great families. And we're looking for guys that are highly competitive and the guys that really like to work and that are high academic achievers. And so we felt like we have just put together an outstanding class of a group of people that are very similar in what their goals and their dreams are. And so that's what makes it exciting, is when you bring a group of people together that all have the same kind of attitude and goals and vision and work ethic, and then that's when great things start to happen.
Give us some of the big picture things. As you evaluate this class, what do you see?
Well, from top to bottom, this class is outstanding. I feel great about this class. I'm really proud of my coaching staff and the job that they've done. We may have set a record for visits. I think we had 8 visits, and so but we did an outstanding job in our process in identifying and bringing kids on campus and really evaluating them and getting to know them and their families and who they are, and that was a critical part of our process. And so it's all about being the right kind of person for me and making sure it's a great fit. And so I told the kids, hey, don't marry me for my money, marry me because you love me and you want to come play for me. And so we got a group of class that has that mindset, and so it's exciting.
The other thing is you had a relatively large senior class that just finished their Cardinal careers. That allowed you to bring in a pretty large incoming class of recruits.
Yeah, we did. We just graduated 22 seniors, and we got another group of 20+ seniors coming up, and so it's a cool time to be a Cardinal, because we're going to be passing the torch to younger guys here real soon. So that makes it exciting, and so this class is eager to get here and get to work, and that's been their message to me all day. Coach, can't wait to get there, can't wait to get started, and so I feel the same way. And so we spent a lot of time recruiting this class, and we took our time. We recruited right up to the last minute. A kid called and committed last night at 11 p.m. And so I know a lot of my staff were up late last night. We were still chasing them, and so we went right to the very end here on this class, and we're excited.
We'll get ready to introduce you to all of the recruits that we're welcoming here today, and we'll kind of break this down by geographic region, starting right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, and I know obviously that was a point of emphasis for you.
Yeah, it was. That was the first thing I talked about in my press conference, and I thought we did an outstanding job here in the Great Lakes Bay region. We've got 5 guys from this area, and all 5 are outstanding student athletes and really good players, and we're excited to keep them here at home. And that was our plan from day one, and that plan's come to fruition, and we're excited about them.
One of those is Brady Devereaux, projected here as a linebacker, 6'4", 215 pounds, out of Hemlock High School. He was the Offensive Player of the Year for the Saginaw News Dream Team. Did everything in high school, played quarterback, tailback, wide receiver, linebacker, punter, and also was the first ever award winner for the Hawkins Award as the top player in Saginaw County that was awarded just this past fall. What did you like about Brady?
Well, I liked his name to start, so that was good. And then he's got relatives that are from Chesaning, which is the center of the universe. So we're excited about that. But no, he's coached by head coach Adam Clark, and Brady's an awesome kid, and he is really long and athletic. I love that he's a state qualifier in track in 4 different events. And so he's played multiple positions: quarterback, tailback, wide receiver, linebacker, and he punts. And so, he's a multi-dimensional athlete. And so we're really excited about him, and he's got a great family, and he really fits the mold of what we're looking for. So we're excited to have Brady.
And then we move on here and stay in the region, and you've got a lineman, Clayton Hackett, coming in from Midland Bullock Creek, all-state offensive lineman. He was on the Midland Daily News Dream Team. What did you see about Clayton?
Yeah, his head coach, Chris Holly, does an awesome job there at Bullock Creek. Coach Burton identified Clayton really early in the process. And, Coach Burton did a great job recruiting Clay, and Clay's an outstanding wrestler. He's got over 100 career wins. He's a team captain, senior class president of the student council. I mean, awesome kid. And we've recruited him almost since the day I've gotten here. And so it's been a process. We're excited. He committed early in the process, so we're really excited about that. And he's a flex guy. He can play offense. He can play defense. I mean, he's physically ready to play college football right now. I mean, he's 6'3", 290 pounds, and he's one of the state's best wrestlers. So, he's physically tough, and he's really athletic. He can really move around. So, Clayton was a steal for us. And so I was just glad that he didn't get nabbed by a Division I school. And so we were glad that he was out there in Midland, out there in Bullock Creek, and we were glad to have him.
And then you just move a little bit south from there, and you go into Saginaw Swan Valley. Carson Bereni, another lineman. He was all-state on the defensive line, and he was on the All-Saginaw News Area Dream Team as well.
Yeah, no, Carson, same thing. We identified him at a summer camp, and he was, coaches were Coach Burton and Coach Dunning come running over and saying, "Wow, this guy is dominant. This guy's explosive. Like, holy cow, we can't, nobody can block this kid." And so, Carson had a motor, and then I must have had high school coach after high school coach call me in the area and say, "Hey, you're recruiting that kid from Swan Valley?" And I said, "Yes, we are." And Carson's a grinder. He's a hard worker. He loves the weight room. He's got an awesome family. His head coach, Kevin Guyanda, does a great job. Swan Valley's been a powerhouse program here in the area. Carson was state runner-up in 2017, played in the semifinals in 2016. He's a 4-year varsity football player, and he's a guy that's just going to come here and work tirelessly. And so that's just who he is, and that's his attitude, and those are the kind of guys we want around here, guys that just love to work. And so I have no doubt Carson's going to come here and have a great year.
Staying in the local area, another lineman, Kieran Schultz out of Saginaw Nouvelle Catholic Central. He's another one who was an all-state defensive lineman. Along with that, his dad Patrick played here as well.
Yeah, cool family. And coached by Andrew Waggles, did a great first-year head coach as well at Saginaw Nouvelle, did a great job. And Coach LaRue on our staff has got Nouvelle ties, and Mike Boyd's a friend, and so we have a few phone calls in regard to Kieran, and he came here and worked out for us, and oh my gosh, what an athlete! I mean, he's broad jumping at almost 10 feet, 6 foot 2.5, 240 pounds. I mean, and he just had a motor. I mean, everything with him was just full speed, maximum effort. He's an all-state defensive lineman. He's a 3-year starter. Also played in a state championship game. Was a state runner-up in 2017, and his dad's obviously a Hall of Famer here. And he's an honor roll student. I mean, he checked all the boxes for us. I mean, so we're really excited. He's going to be a big, powerful, explosive defensive lineman here, and another great local kid from another team that made the playoffs. All these guys so far are all playoff qualifiers, and so it's just part of our equation, our formulas. We're looking for winners here, and so. Excited to have Kieran.
And then last one from the Great Lakes Bay region is place kicker punter Jack Dreyer out of Freeland High School. He was an all-state kicker for the Detroit Free Press, and then I hear he's also your neighbor.
He's my neighbor, yeah, and so that's a great quality. I told him, man, if you ever want to feel like cutting my grass or taking the trash out, come on over, So yeah, he lives just right around the corner, so that's cool. It's neat. As well as one of his former teammates, Jack Townsend, and his dad, who's the head football coach at Freeland, who's been awesome since I've been here. Really become a great friend, and thankful for Kevin. And couldn't be more excited about Jack. I mean, he's got a powerful leg. He is a really good basketball player. You know, he's knocking down three-pointers left and right, and I got people saying, Coach, man, he can hoop, and, you know, he can hit. He's a linebacker as well, but he's 6 foot, 225 pounds. He's a big, strong, athletic kid, a powerful leg. He's a left footer, and so that fits really well into what we like to do in terms of our punting and our kicking, and we obviously have a great left footer right now, and so he's going to be a great addition to that, and we're excited that he's here, and I'm excited that he's my neighbor.
And then we moved down a little bit south to the Flint area. A couple of guys coming in from there. One of them, Joseph Jeruzel, played on both sides of the ball out of Flushing High School. He was the Metro League Offensive Player of the Year. And then he's going to be a two-sport athlete here at SVSU, as he's also signed with the SVSU baseball team.
Yeah, no, Joe's a dynamic athlete, two-sport athlete in college. That's hard to do, and he can do it. You know, when I first saw his film, I thought, wow, this guy can really play. His head coach, Robert Oginski, I've known him for a long time. Flushing High School, another playoff qualifier, and he's first team all-conference, you know, Metro League Offensive Player of the Year. And you watch his tape, same kind of thing, multi-dimensional athlete. He's playing linebacker, he's playing slot receiver, wide receiver. He's all over the field, and he's making plays. And, you know, he gained considerable Division I interest. He's coming here as a catcher. And so I love that. And catchers are tough and they're grinders, and so you know, really excited about Joe and the addition that he's going to bring in. He's 6 foot 2, 180 pounds. He's long and he can run. I mean, this guy can run. Even the baseball coach, man, he's an athlete. He can go. I said, I know. And so we're excited to get Joe.
And then out of Flint Carmen Ainsworth is a running back, Charles Johnson, who transferred high schools, but is a two-time team captain, which is interesting for someone, again, who is a part of multiple high school programs.
Yeah, Charles, very unique, really can do some damage with the ball in his hands. He can really go. He sees the field really well. He's got a great personality, and his mom is awesome. And we had a good time when they were on campus, and so we're really fired up about Charles and the things that he can do, but he's also really good on the backfield. He can catch the ball well, so he may flex into the slot position a little bit for us. So he can do a lot of things. He reminds me of a little bit bigger version of like Tommy Scott, and so he's really good, like making you miss, stop and start, change of direction. So he really had a great year at Ypsilanti, and then come over to Carmen and did a really nice job. And so he's a three-sport standout, and we're excited to have him. If you notice the theme here, we got a lot of multi-sport athletes, and so that's a big thing for me and what I'm looking for. I don't like one-sport guys as much as I like three-sport guys, and so I love guys that just love to compete and take pride in everything that they do, and Charles is one of those guys.
There's a quarterback that just won some game called the Super Bowl that had many of those same characteristics.
Yeah, right, exactly. And so that's a big part of what we're looking for. You know, we love guys that just love to compete in anything. So that's a lot like my staff. We're probably out there playing ping pong right now in the hallway. So
they were when I came in.
We like to compete around here. If we're not, we're in the gym. You know, playing sevens and playing basketball. And so that's how my staff is, and we're trying to recruit guys that kind of fit our personality and our culture and what we're trying to build here.
And then we move down to the Metro Detroit region, obviously the big population center of the state. That's the bulk of this recruiting class, including the one quarterback that you've signed coming in, Colby Newberg, 6'2", 210 pounds, out of Brighton High School. They were the Division I state runner-up, all-state quarterback, Livingston County Offensive Player of the Year. Obviously a lot of things to like with him.
Love Colby. Excited. You know, we really selective in terms of recruiting quarterback. You know, we've only taken one with this class, and Colby was the guy we wanted from the start. Excited to get him. You know, head coach Brian Lemons, you know, awesome guy, good friend, and he really helped us. And Coach Reinhardt, and Coach Burton, and I think the whole staff may have been into Brighton. We were in that school so many times, and so. But Colby's a great kid. I mean, he is. You know, by many, he's considered to be the most athletic quarterback maybe in the state of Michigan. I mean, Colby can fly. I mean, Colby is super fast. He came here for our summer camp and was running 4.51, 4.52 on the clock, and we were like, whoa, this guy can really go. And then he had an outstanding year. I mean, 1,587 passing yards, 20 TDs, you know, almost 1,500 yards rushing and 18 TDs. I mean, it's exactly what we're looking for. You know, he's 6'2", and he's going to be 220 pounds by the time he leaves here. And so he's a winner, and he's his mom he's upstairs watching film all the time, and he's just the kind of guy that I want. He's just a worker and wants to be the best. And he helped us recruit a lot of these guys. So as soon as he committed, he's like, Coach, who can I help recruit? And so I just love guys like that. He's a team guy, and he's going to run track this fall, so we're excited about that. And I said, man, I can't wait to see how fast you're going to run, dude. And so his sister runs track, and she was here at a big track meet, and she can go. So it must be in the genes there, because I got some kids in that family that can run. And so excited to have Colby, and I can't wait to get to work with them.
And then also from the Metro Detroit area, Miles Gresham, 6'1", 190 pounds, out at North Farmington High School as a running back, first team OAA. What did you see with Miles?
Yeah, Miles is as fast as Colby is. Miles is the fastest kid we've had on campus, and so and it's not close. And Miles is a legitimate 4.4 guy. He's from North Farmington High School. They just had a great turnaround by head coach John Hairston, and a legendary coach from Farmington Hills Harrison. John Harrington's over there, and what those guys have did over there in North Farmington in a short time is incredible. And Miles is a big part of that. Miles playing on both sides of the ball, but he was super explosive in terms of the ball in his hand. And so elite speed, got a great personality. He's got a great family. Really enjoyed our home visit there with him and his mom. His mom's great, and he committed very early in the process, and he was a point of emphasis for us right away when I got his film. I loved it and passed it on to Coach McEwen, and Coach McEwen did a great job recruiting him, and we fell in love quick with him and just his demeanor and his desire to be the best that he can be. And he's a perfect fit for what we're looking for. And in terms of athleticism, he's 6'1", 190 pounds. He's got the frame to be really special. And so, we project him as potentially being a corner or a safety here, but I haven't ruled out the idea of him carrying the ball either. So, but he's an exceptional athlete, and we're really pleased to have Miles.
And then you move a little bit south from there down to Dearborn-Fordson High School, and you've got Andrew Holston, another guy who did a lot of things both sides of the ball and on special teams. He was the team MVP for Fordson, first team all-conference in the KLAA. Obviously, a lot to like with him as well.
Yeah, we love Andrew too. He coached by Fuad Saban, who's awesome guy, and another good friend. And they were here for our 7-on-7 tournament in the summer, and Fordson ended up winning the tournament, and it was wild at the end, and I went to 4 or 5 overtimes, and Andrew was just, he's playing corner and slot receiver, and he was just a fierce competitor. We walked out of the 7-on-7 and thought, wow, who is this kid? And he had a dog mentality, and we fell in love with him right then and there. We recruited him ever since that day, and he's been committed for a long time. And then when you watch his high school film, you're just like, wow. And so my staff's fighting over him. Coach Reinhardt wants him as a slot, and Coach McEwen's like, no way, he's a corner. And so, really excited to have Andrew. He's got the knack for the big play, and I just love his personality. He's got that Mamba mentality. It's all about winning for him. And so I love guys like that. So excited to have Andrew.
And then Jesse Powell coming in out of South Lyon High School, 6'5", 220 pounds linebacker, defensive MVP, team captain, 40 tackles on the season. 12 of them were tackles for loss, including 10 sacks. Obviously a guy who has shown an ability to pressure the quarterback.
Yeah, Jesse's a special guy. 6'5", 220 pounds. He has got a legitimate Division I body. He had a lot of Division I schools flirting with him late. Very fortunate that he chose us. He was highly recruited by all the Division II schools in the state, and so. But we were on Jesse. From the get-go here. So we recruited him. All summer, all fall, up until this point, and so really excited to have him. He may. We're projecting him to be a linebacker, but he may grow into being a defensive end. He's got the frame to be 6'5", 260, 270 pounds. And he can run, and he can move, and he's got an awesome family, and we really enjoyed our home visit there. And Coach Prudhomme did a great job recruiting Jesse, and really excited to have him. And we expect that he's going to be the mold of some of those other former great linebackers that we've seen here with John DeGiorgio and Adam Wheatley, and guys that were big and long and athletic. And so that was a really point of emphasis with our recruiting classes. We wanted to get bigger and longer, and the linebacking linebacker class that we have recruited is just outstanding. I'm just really pleased, and so really excited to have Jesse.
And then out of Woodhaven High School, you've got Clarence Corbett, who did some impressive things at running back. Is a really big guy, 6 foot, 250 pounds. He's on the All News Herald Dream Team, 2018 Division I shot put state champion, average 8.8 yards per carry at that size. And he's another one who's going to be a dual athlete here because he's going to be on the track and field team as well as the football team.
Yeah, we already got a few football guys that are doing track and field, and they're doing outstanding. And I'm a big multi-sport guy, and Clarence is an awesome kid. We're really excited to have him. He was highly sought after as well. He's 6 foot, 260 pounds. And you're like, that's too big to be a running back. He can go. He came up here and worked out, and we had linebackers that couldn't even touch him. And so he reminds me of a Jerome Bettis type of player. Big and powerful, but he can make you miss. He's really loose. But he's a powerful kid, and he can really throw the shot. He came here a week ago for a track meet and did one throw, and that was it for him. And he threw it like 60 feet, and everyone was like, "What was that?" And he was done, and he won. And so, but he's got a really cool personality, and Coach Miller did an outstanding job recruiting him and building a great relationship with him. And we're really excited to have Clarence. There's going to be nothing but great things we expect from him. So I know Coach Collins really excited as well. So you get the best shot guy in the state here coming here, and so we feel the same way on the football side. Is we got one of the best running backs in the state. Very unique in terms of his size, speed, his power, and his ability to make people miss. So I think that's really cool. And he's coached by Keith Christangle, who's great high school football coach. They were 10-1, another playoff team, and so Clarence is a winner, and we're excited to have him.
And then on the defensive line, one of the players SVSU bringing in Harold Irby, 6'2", 265 pounds, out of St. Clair Shores, Lakeview. He's all-state on the defensive line, first team All-Metro East, and a team captain.
Harold, another great kid, really great kid. We recruited him a long time as well. We offered him in the summer, and it went all the way down till just late last week, and he had a lot of options. So I'm glad he chose Saginaw, and his head coach, Pat Three, got to thank him. He helped us along in the process a lot. Another playoff team, and, Harold reminds me a lot of Heath Wonders. Just the size, his stature, how long his arms are. I think Harold's going to be really big, and he's going to be a 300-pounder someday, and he's going to be a dominant force. He's super athletic. He uses his hands really well. His dad owns a gym, so he's lives in the weight room, so we're really excited about him. But he's just an awesome student and a great person, and really excited that him and his teammate are coming to Saginaw, so we're excited.
And that teammate is Isaiah Robinson, 6'5", 210 pounds, again also out of St. Clair Shores, Lakeview. He was first team All-Conference, another multi-sport athlete in football and track. And interesting, again, at that size, 10.9 100-meter dash. I see that. It kind of reminds me of a guy who's currently on the team, and Nate McCrary at the running back position. Big guy, but also very fast as a track athlete and a sprinter.
Yeah, Isaiah committed really early. He was one that we knew we wanted, and we went. And Coach McEwen and Coach Prudhomme went and attacked him right away, and we got him locked up in early December. That was a big relief. He had multiple Division I schools and some Big Ten schools sniffing around and talking with them. And when you're 6'5", 210 and you can run and move like that, it's a wow. You go pop his film on and you're saying, whoa, how'd you get him? I don't know. Well, I'm happy, and we're blessed. And but yeah, my staff did a great job, and him and his dad were just here this last weekend, and great people again. And his dad's awesome, and it's just we built a relationship with him over a long period of time, and we identified these guys early, and we hung in there, and they hung in with us, and the more we got to know each other, the more we all fell in love with each other. And so Harold and Isaiah, what a pair. And so we're blessed bringing some St. Clair's Lakeview guys over here, and they're going to be a dynamic duo for sure.
And then another one from the Metro Detroit area, Jalen Williams, tight end, defensive end, 6'3", 230 pounds, out of Belleville High School. They were a state semifinalist, and he's another, again, multi-sport athlete, as he was part of their basketball team that won a regional championship.
Yeah, Jalen, it's another dynamic duo here in the next two guys. And so, Jalen Williams is from Belleville, they're state semifinalist. He's a tight end. Could be a defensive player. I'm going to be selfish on this one. He's going to be playing tight end. He can flex out. He can go one-on-one with safeties and corners. He is big. He's athletic. He has great hands. He plays on the basketball team. They have an awesome basketball team there at Belleville. He's got an awesome mom, Toria. Hi, Mom. And we're excited to have him. And he's one of a kind. I mean, he had a whole bunch of Division I stuff going on, and so we swooped in there and scooped him up, and really excited about Jalen in the future. And the sky's the limit for him. This guy can play, and he is big, physical, and even Pastor Hopkins bumped into him on his visit, and he's like, "Whoa, like, who's this guy?" And I said, "Yeah, And so really excited about Jalen. Expected big things from him.
And as you said, he's got a teammate coming as well, Mike Jenkins Jr. Again, also a state semifinalist, 6'1", 190. He was honorable mention All-State. What did you see from him?
Yeah, and he's coached by Jermaine Crow. All these guys are, these two guys are coached by one of the best in Detroit. And, I thank Jermaine. He's helped me a lot with these two guys. And so very appreciative coach. Belleville's 12-1. They had an unbelievable season. Mike, 6'1", 190 pounds. He can run. I mean, he can play running back. He can play defensive back. He can play corner. He can play safety. I mean, same thing. This guy had Division I stuff going, and blessed to get him. I mean, he's dynamic with the ball in his hands. I mean, he's got a knack for big plays, and super great family and super nice personality. And he was a big part in helping get Jalen here, and he had a great visit, and actually came back when Jalen visited. And but he's going to be a great one here for years to come, and so going to be more excited to have Mike join the family.
And also from the Metro Detroit area, Nick Johnson, 6', 190 pounds, running back out of UAD Jesuit. He was an all-state running back, first team all-city as a running back for the Detroit Free Press, first team all-Catholic. One of the teachers at his school, Darren Flowers, SVSU alum. When Nick committed, he was reaching out to me. He's really excited about it. So I know there's a lot of people in his corner.
Yeah, Nick's, again, I'm just pinching myself looking and going through these guys. I'm like, man, I love them all like so much. This is crazy. But yeah, no, I feel this is an elite class here. And Nick's an elite person, and Nick's got an elite family. We really connected well with his dad, and Coach Lewis there at UAD just did a great job. He's new there, and they made the playoffs this year and turned things around, and Nick was a big part of that. I mean, 19 total touchdowns, 1,100 yards rushing. I mean, it's hard to be first-team All-Catholic down there in that league. And so it says a lot about Nick as a running back, and he can flex into a defensive player as well. But he's a multi-sport athlete, and second time, he's a high academic kid, and we're just blessed that he's here. And I love parochial school guys, and Nick and his family just have high standards of how they conduct themselves and their goals and their dreams. And so I just loved every minute of recruiting him, and he's going to be special. He's going to be really special.
And then from Richmond High School up in Macomb County, Connor Cracchiolo, offensive lineman, 6'3", 265 pounds. He was first team All-State, the Richmond MVP lineman for back-to-back years, and not only a two-sport athlete, but captain for both his football and basketball teams.
Yeah, coached by head coach John Coker, and Connor's awesome. Okay, he was the guy that committed super late last night, and he had a basketball game. I think Richmond's 10-2 now, and as soon as he got home from the basketball game, then he had to run to the gym and go lift weights. And I said, dude, you just got done with the basketball games. Coach, I just want to be great. I just want to be the best. And I said, okay. I said, so what do you think? He goes, I'm a Cardinal coach. He goes, but you got to promise me one thing. I said, what's that? He goes, you're going to push me every single day. I don't want you to go easy on me. I want you to push me as hard as I can. Even if I'm had a bad day, I want you to get on me. And I just said, man, I love you, dude. I love that attitude. Like I said, it's a deal. And so, but he received a bunch of Division I interest and offers, and him and his mom came up here really late in the process. They fell in love. We fell in love with them. Felt really comfortable. Had a great visit. He's a National Honor Society member, team captain. I mean, this guy checks all the boxes. Every person that I talk to about Connor, everybody says great things. Everybody loves him, and so. I'm just really excited. He's a killer on the field. His film's incredible. He is super athletic, powerful. You know, we had him in the Hamilton gym, and he was just, you know, draining three-pointers left and right. And I'm like, wow, this guy is a skilled, big athlete. You know, 6'3", 265 pounds. You know, he's going to be a great one here. Really excited to have Connor.
And then from Orchard Lake St. Mary's, another one out of the Catholic League, Danny Mason, 5'10", 170-pound defensive back, all-state defensive back in 2018 and 2019, and again, plays both football and runs track.
Yeah, coached by legendary coach George Porritt. Known George a long time. Legend in this state, and excited to have an Orchard Lake guy. Those guys are hard to get. It's a highly recruited school. I mean, everybody's through there recruiting kids. Hard to get those guys, and Danny was no different. Danny had a lot of stuff going on, but again, came up here and had a great workout, and super explosive on a 35-inch vertical leap, and you know, really moved around really well, and unbelievably good ball skills and twitch and reaction. We were like, wow, and he's a dangerous defensive back, and he's just really smart. He's got the gift of just really having a good feel and sense on the field, and you know, Coach Porter had nothing but great things to say. So he's one of the best he's ever coached, and I'm like, you know, he walked in the room, and I fell in love as soon as I laid eyes on him. It was love at first sight for me, and so really excited to get Danny, another great student as well, high academic achiever, and you know, him and his family. We just felt it was just such a great fit here, and so really excited to have Danny join the family.
And then out of Utica Eisenhower is Dylan Doherty, another O-lineman, 6'3", 265 pounds. He was a team captain, and his dad played O-line at the University of Michigan.
Yeah, his dad's a big dude still. Still looks good. I can see why he played there. And Dylan's the same way, you know, and Coach Burton deserves a lot of credit, found Dylan. Hayden and Eisenhower, you know, head coach Chris Smith gave us the heads up that, you know, Dylan really had a good senior season. I brought him up, and he looked like, when he stood next to Coach Burton, I mean, he was bigger than Coach Burton. So I tell Coach Burton, if they look like you, then you should recruit them. And so this Coach Burton's big and handsome, and so that's the same way with Dylan. And Dylan ran around great, super athletic, young guy, you know, just 17 years old, his giant hands, and huge upside. I mean, an Eagle Award winner, 3.97 GPA, I mean, honor roll every year of high school. I mean, this guy wants to be great, you know, and just loved his dad and the visit, and he's a very talented athlete, and he has got a ton of upside, and so we really felt like we got a steal with Dylan, and we're excited he's a Cardinal.
And then you've got Josh Headley coming in, 6'2", 230 pounds, out of Marine City High School. Both 2018 and 2019, he was an all-state linebacker, Marine City defensive MVP, two-time Detroit News first-team All-East. Obviously a lot of accolades with this guy.
Yeah, and when you watch his film, you can see why. Because he does it all. I mean, he's a true football player. This guy can do it all. He long snaps, tight end, linebacker, super active, super physical. He's got all the awards, 4-year starter, 2-year captain. I mean, he's got a bunch of brothers that play college football. You know, Coach Burton got the inside track on him. You know, he was highly sought after as well. Thank God he was way over in Marine City. That's a long ways to go, but not when you're in Saginaw. It's not. But for some of these other schools, it's a long way to travel to get to. And so, man, we're excited. I know Coach Burton's got his heart on sending him playing tight end, but I told Coach Burton, this guy may be, you know, all-American type linebacker here, because this guy can run, he can hit, he is super smart, and he's another guy that came in here and had almost a 35-inch vertical leap, and so powerful athlete, and just a winner. I mean, he's just a winner, and he's a great kid, and you know, we're ecstatic that Josh is part of the program.
And then last one out of the Metro Detroit region is Brett Bradley out of West Bloomfield, played O-line, tight end, defensive end. They were another playoff team, made a deep run. Tell me about Brett.
Yeah, Brett just came up here recently and had a great visit. You know, his head coach Ron Bellamy's a great friend of mine, a University of Michigan alum at West Bloomfield High School. He's done an outstanding job with that program. You know, 10-2 last year, playoff team. You know, and Brett, you know, started on the offensive line at tackle for him. And you're like, dang, you're 6'4", you know, 225 left tackle. And this guy can block. He can move. He's athletic. This kid can bend. I couldn't believe he's unbelievably, like, flexible. And very quiet, humble kid, and you know, committed to us very late in the process. Super long and athletic, and he's got the ability to play either side of the football. I mean, this guy could be, you know, a tight end, a defensive end. He may grow in and be in one of those, you know, freak show offensive tackles. And so, really excited about Brett. You know, really love what we see on film, and really excited about him in the future here as a Cardinal.
And moving over to the Southwest Michigan region, before we get into the guys individually, it's kind of interesting because there's 4 of them coming from, again, more or less the Kalamazoo area, and they all committed in the span of about 48 hours, and so all of a sudden people are like, you know, what's going on over there? I'm hearing from people who work in the media over in that part of the state, and they're like, well, you know, how are all these guys committing to Saginaw Valley? Because it really seemed like a tidal wave.
Yeah, it was kind of, and it was not planned that way. It just kind of happened that way, which was kind of cool and unique, and feel great about just what we did in the state of Michigan here, you know. So our focus was on the Great Lakes Bay region area. Felt like we got everybody that we wanted in this area, you know. And then we moved towards Flint and into Detroit, and you know, hammered it there. We felt like we hit a home run there, and then we worked our way across to Southwest Michigan, and felt like we, you know, stole all the best players, you know, from that side of the state. And so, and we worked our way right on around, you know, West Michigan to Northern Michigan, and it just, you know, we hit every part of the state, and we really left no stone unturned, and my staff deserves the credit. They did a great job, and I thought our process for our first time around, for our first recruiting class, couldn't be more pleased with you know, how we operated and how we attacked, and you know, how we won on a lot of kids. So,
including one of them, Tyler Amos, 5'9", 185 pounds, out of Portage Northern High School, All-State running back in 2018 and 2019. He was a top 10 finalist for the Michigan High School Football Player of the Year. He was the Offensive Player of the Year as a junior for the Kalamazoo Gazette, and totaled over 3,600 yards and 50 touchdowns in his final 2 seasons.
Yeah, it's just hard to even like fathom, you know. Coached by, you know, Pete Schermerhorn, and Portage Northern had a, you know, miraculous, you know, awesome season, like great turnaround, and you know, Tyler was a big part of that. Coach Zanolato and Coach Reinhardt deserve a lot of credit recruiting him. Again, recruited him for a long time, but I mean, you know, top 10 finalists for the Michigan High School Football Player of the Year. I mean, it's unbelievable, and the statistics are crazy, but the best thing about him is the person that he is. I mean, he is a great person. I just love being around him. I mean, he's got a glowing smile, and he's got an awesome family, and you know, he's felt strongly about us from the beginning, and we felt the same way, and we just felt like it was a great fit. You know, he's going to come here as a running back for us, but man, we kind of like, as we started recruiting, like, man, you're kind of like the honey badger. I mean, this guy could play corner, he could play slot. I mean, he's a football player. He could play anywhere. And we're going to, you know, our plans are to use him at running back, because you see what he does with the ball in his hand. I mean, the yardage, the touchdowns. I mean, he can go, and he can run. He came here and, you know, was, you know, a 4-5 guy, and we time everybody on the laser. So this dude can scoot, and he is built, and he is really a committed athlete. And you know, he's another multi-sport guy, and he's a point guard on the basketball team, and runs track. So he was highly touted and recruited, and we were very fortunate to get him.
And there's actually 3 recruits coming in from Portage Northern, including a pair of twins. One of them, Cam Cunningham. He's the defensive tackle at 6'3", 290. All-State on the defensive line. Another one, Kalamazoo Gazette Dream Team selection, and Portage Northern's Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, Cam's awesome. Cam's going to be great. I mean, Cam is a legitimate 6'3", 290 right now. I mean, he's big, and he's athletic. He's got long arms. You know, we identified him as, you know, one of the top defensive line prospects, you know, in the state. So we loved his personality. Really connected with his dad, Corey, and you know, we were excited that, you know, they felt at home, because we felt really comfortable with him. But he's got tremendous upside. You know, he's going to be in that Heath Williams category of going to be an explosive, powerful, athletic, dominant defensive tackle for us. So excited to have Cam, and we're expecting big things out of him in the near future.
And along with him is coming Corey Cunningham, 6'4", 205 pounds. Again, a Portage Northern wide receiver. First team All-State as a defensive back, but played both ways. Also had 23 receptions for 468 yards, 6 touchdowns. And then also explosive as a kickoff returner, had 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns.
Yeah, the Cunningham brothers were highly sought after. So my staff deserves a lot of credit. Coach Miller and Coach Sanalato and Coach Lynch and Coach Reinhardt and Coach McEwen, and I mean everybody on my staff was recruiting these guys. And Corey, we felt like Corey was the best receiver available in the state. We compared him to everybody, and and he's an all-state defensive back, so it just tells you what kind of athlete that he is. I mean, but he's 6'4", 205 pounds. Right now, 17 years old. Super explosive. He returned kicks. I mean, another football player. And so we project him here to be, kind of like the next. We're hoping the next Chad Galliard. Come here and totally dominate and be able to take the top off the coverage and be that big, long, physical, athletic receiver that it's hard to match up with. And so, but Corey and Cam, along with Tyler, those three had a big part in terms of that 10-3 season that they had there in Portage Northern. They lost in the playoffs to Muskegon Mona Shores by 5 and right down to the wire. I mean, and Mona Shores won the state championship, so that just goes to show you the kind of caliber of players that these young men are, and the things that they did. Portage Northern this year were incredible, and so we're blessed that we've got a nice package deal here and bringing all three of them here, and so we can't wait to get to work with them.
And then staying in that area, you've also got Kobe Clark coming in out of Schoolcraft High School, 5'10", 170. He was first team All-State as a running back, finishing the top 4 for the Michigan football in Michigan voting. And again, you talk about statistics, 99 career touchdowns, which is 7th all-time in the history of Michigan high school football.
Yeah, and his dad's a living legend, Benny Clark. And sorry, Benny, I do this to you every time, but I followed Benny when I was in high school growing up when he's at Ravenna breaking records, and then his son's doing the same thing, and so really cool. Kobe's been on campus a million times with his dad, and so we just love having him around. And again, another playoff team, coached by Coach Frenzy there, 10-3 record. Kobe's a winner. He's a worker. He came out, he's playing basketball, he sprained his ankle in a basketball game, showed up here the next day and refused to sit out, wanted to work out and run around and gimped around. I said, dude, stop, your basketball team's undefeated. He just wants to prove himself to us. I'm like, dude, you got nothing to prove, man. We're just excited that you're here. And he's a special guy with the ball in his hands. And we can't wait to get him out there on display for everybody. So I've had so many people call me about, man, I can't believe you got Kobe. I can't believe you got Kobe. And so we're excited, and he's going to be a special player for us. He could be a running back, he could be a slot. We're going to move him all around the field and try to create creative ways to get him the football into space and let him go to work. So he's hard to tackle. He's got top-end speed, and he runs great routes and has great ball skills. I mean, Coach Analotta did a great job recruiting Kobe, and it was a long process, but we're glad he's a Cardinal.
And then moving to the northern part of West Michigan, you mentioned Ravenna High School. Next recruit is coming from there. Obviously, that high school had some great players come through for SVSU, including NFL offensive lineman Todd Harriman. Grant Parker, who's both linebacker, tight end, coming out of high school, 6'5", 215 pounds. He was a first-team All-State linebacker, selected to play in the Zenith All-Star game, and again, did good things on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I love Grant. Loved Grant from the second I watched film on him, and then when I met him, I loved him even more. And so me and Coach Prudhomme, we went hard on Grant and spent a lot of time with him and his family. And Coach Doug Samuels does a great job there, and he's a friend and another playoff team and another winner. And Grant is just, he's all 6'5". I mean, and he's 215, and he's a high academic kid, and he's polished as a football player. I mean, he knows how to block, how to use his hands. He's really good at block destruction. Again, he may grow into being 6'5", 260 pounds, or maybe he's going to be 6'5", 240, and he gets to stand up. But he reminds me of that mold of those big, long, athletic linebackers that SVSU had back in the day, and really excited about Grant. And he was highly recruited, and he had a lot of Division I interest as well. And I was just glad that he was still there and he hung with us, and it was. I can't wait to get to work with him. He's got a great smile and great personality, and his dad's awesome, and we're excited that Grant's going to be a Cardinal, and I know Coach Prudhomme's itching to get to work with him. I mean, he probably wish they would graduate and get here now, and so just really excited about Grant.
And then you mentioned Muskegon Mona Shores earlier, one recruit coming in from there, defensive lineman Logan Heckema. Again, Mona Shores did win the Division II state championship. He was first team on the all-state defensive line, Muskegon Chronicle Dream Team. Again, all the accolades.
Yeah, no, we felt good. We went into West Michigan and got the guys we wanted, and Logan was one of them. I mean, he's just maybe a tad under 6'3" and 280 pounds, and his head coach Matt Koziak just did an outstanding job. Muskegon Mona Shores, state champions this year. It was an exciting state champion game, and when I was watching the game, I just couldn't keep my eyes off of Logan. He was everywhere, both sides of the football. His junior year he played quarterback. He's the team's punter. I mean, he's a skilled athlete for a big guy. So people just think, oh, he's a big guy. No, this guy is just like grown a bunch late. And you watch his film, and I mean, I think he weighed in for us at 278 pounds or something. It's unbelievable how he runs around. He doesn't look like he's 270, 278. He's looks like, oh man, you just look lean like you're a big dude. And he is just athletic and skilled. I mean, I just watching him throw the football in our indoor. I'm like, dude, you want to play quarterback, 280 pounds, And as a coach, I can't just let me know what you need, And so, really excited about Logan. He committed early in the process, and he really helped recruit a lot of these guys as well. He's a coach. What can I do to help this class? And he's a winner. He's got a winner mindset. Loves to work. Just focused on being the best that he can be. I mean, a Muskegon Dream Team member. That's an incredible honor over there. They play great football over there in the Muskegon area. A lot of great schools, a lot of great programs, a lot of great coaches. So for us to go in there and get Logan was huge.
And then out of Grand Rapids Catholic Central, Malachi Love, 5'11", 190 at wide receiver. First team all-conference at wide receiver. And again, you talk about winners. Now you're talking about a 3-time state champion.
Yeah, coached by Todd Colster, who I've known for 20-plus years. And, he was a graduate assistant, and I was a player. And so it's cool. We've had a cool relationship. And, he told me, he's like, hey, man, you got to really look hard at this Malachi guy, And then when I watched the state championship game, I'm like, oh, yeah, I see why. And so then we brought Malachi up on campus, and, he was flying around in the indoor. We were throwing his little balls, and I couldn't believe how polished he is. He is really, you can tell he's really well coached, and he's really disciplined. Great route runner, great ball skills. Great change of direction, had one of the fastest pro agility times of anybody that we had on campus. And so he jumped far, jumped high. I mean, before he left campus, I'm like, dude, just can you commit right now? And so, but he committed just after Christmas, and really excited to get him. I mean, 3-time state champion. I mean, he's a winner, and they're doing something right over there. And Coach Colster deserves a lot of credit. And he told me, he said, Coach, trust me, you're getting a great one here. And so really excited to have Malachi.
And then out of Grand Rapids Christian is Terrell Givens, 6'3", 255 pounds. Went down to the combine in St. Louis and had the 3rd best overall score. He was first team all conference. Again, a lot of physical gifts in terms of Terrell.
Yeah, Terrell committed really early in the process as well. And so he was one of our first commits. So we had Terrell on campus. I mean maybe early June, at our unofficial recruiting visit and a barbecue we had. And his dad's from the Flint area, so they had some ties close by. And so his dad was awesome, and Terrell was awesome, and I had an outstanding senior year, and he's highly sought after. I know he's really twitchy. He's really athletic. He can do it all. He can rush the passer. He can stop the run. He's a multi-sport athlete. Uses his hands extremely well. He fits the mold of our prototypical defensive end in terms of what we're looking for. I mean, he's going to be a 270-pound defensive end, and he's going to have the ability to really dominate at this level. And we're excited about Terrell. There's guys like that are hard to find, and we're glad he's with us. So Terrell, can't wait for you to get here, buddy. So we're excited.
And then moving on to geographically to northern Michigan, at least northern lower Michigan, another big offensive lineman out of Roscommon, Seth Kuipert, 6'7", 290, first team all-conference on the offensive line, and another three-sport athlete.
Yeah, Seth, I mean, almost 6'7", and he's all of 290 pounds, and he looks great. His head coach, Steve Barnick, and the first team all-conference guy, and his top offensive line prospect in northern Michigan. And Coach Burton saw him at Central Michigan at a camp, and we really liked the way that he moved. We liked his film. Him and his dad came up here a couple different times, and we really enjoyed our visit. And we went and watched him play basketball, and loved the way that he moves on the court. He's a double-digit guy and almost a double-digit rebounder, and so he's his brother's a college basketball player, and so he's a big, long, athletic dude, and he's tough, and you can tell his dad's tough, and so he's going to come here and grind, and 6'7", 290. I mean, that's a dream come true right there. So yeah, we're excited. This guy can play, and Coach Burton just loved working with him this summer. Really coachable, and we think the sky's the limit for Seth. Wow.
And then we already had a couple of these where you've got teammates coming to SVSU from the same high school. Here's another example of that out of Maple City, Glen Lake. You've got a couple of them, starting with Ben Kroll, 6'3", 280-pound lineman, first team All-State offensive line. They were Division VI state runner-up. The head coach there, Jerry Angers, just announced he's retiring as a head coach. His son Duke is a tight end here on the SVSU team. Seems like Duke is the brother to everybody on this team all the time, but obviously two good ones coming in from there. But first, talk about Ben.
Yeah, Jerry's great. I already told him I got a hat and some gear waiting for him, so I said, let's go. It's time to keep coaching here. So he laughed, and I said, no, I'm serious. So we're just waiting for him to retire from everything. And then I told him, you get down here and you can live in a trailer and coach some football, dude. So, but no, Duke and his dad are great, and Ben was another guy that we attacked. I mean, Ben was committed in the summer, and so that's pretty uncommon. But Ben came up here for camp and worked out, and just stood. I mean, above everybody. I mean, he dominated at our camp, and Coach Burton brought him over, and I looked at him, and I said, oh, you look just like Coach Burton. Yeah, I like you, and his dad's awesome. And so we started our recruiting process very early, and Ben fell in love with Saginaw Valley, and came back a couple times, and committed early in July, and again, I'm watching him in the state championship game, and my father-in-law said, you ought to recruit that big guy. I said, yeah, he's already committed to us. Oh my God, he's good, and he's playing defensive line. I mean, he's just a tireless worker, just a motor. He just never stops hustling, and he's got the greatest personality, and he's funny, and him and Coach Burton are going to be quite the duo together, because Coach Burton's got a pretty cool personality himself, and so those two are going to be characters together. But I mean, he's Dean's List. I mean, this honorable mention, National Honor Society. I mean, played in the state championship game. I mean, checking every box. Excited to have Ben, and Ben's also been a big part of helping us recruit a lot of other guys. And so we're excited about Ben.
One of those, I presume, Jonathan Wright, 6'1", 195 pounds, again, also out of Maple City, Glen Lake. All-State as a running back and linebacker for the Michigan High School Football Coaches Association. And again, All-State running back for the Free Press, All-State linebacker for the Detroit News, team MVP. Again, another one of these guys just seems to do it all.
Football player, just a football player. Jerry called and said, hey, take a good look at this guy, and I showed Coach Prudhomme, and Coach Prudhomme did a great job recruiting Jonathan. And Jonathan had some other offers going on in the league, and so Ben was a big part of helping get Jonathan to come here. And high academic dude, but just when you watch his film, you're like, holy cow, where does he play? He can play anywhere. Where do you need somebody? Because that's where Jonathan can go, because he does everything on a football field. And then on his visit, he had an exceptional workout. I mean, just the diligence that he had, just stretching and warming up. I mean, his attention to detail, I was just watching him, and I was like, I grabbed Jerry and said, dude, can you get him to say yes right now? Because before he even worked out, I was convinced, and so he's He's a really long 6'1", he's 200 pounds, and he's a do-it-all guy. I mean, running back, linebacker, strong safety. He was a team captain and a big reason why they had such a great year. So I'm excited to have Jonathan.
Also, 3 guys coming in from out of state. We'll start first in Illinois with Isaac Reuter, 6'5", 270-pound offensive lineman out of Bishop McNamara High School in Kankakee, first team all-conference. He was a team captain. I look forward to meeting him. I grew up not far from there in the south suburbs of Chicago. I remember swimming in the Kankakee River.
Right.
So I'm going to get a chance to tell him about that story.
Cool, yeah, no, we found out about Isaac late, Alan True's a good friend of mine and gave me the heads up, like, hey, here's a guy, take a look, and showed him to Coach Burton. I liked his tape. Coach Burton met him in school and said, oh, Coach, you're going to love this guy. And so him and his family were just on campus, just this past weekend, and loved the visit and had a lot of options. This guy had a lot of options, and so really excited to get him. Wow, I mean, 6'5", 270, this guy is athletic. He's got unbelievably great feet. He's really athletic and rangy. He bends extremely well. His head coach, Rich Zani, had nothing but great things to say about him. Wants to study engineering, so he's a high academic guy. Isaac was a slam dunk for us and a really good get late in the process.
And then from the state of Ohio, Tyus Thompson, another offensive lineman, 6'3", 285, out of Olentangy Liberty High School in suburban Columbus. He was first team OCC Buckeye, first team all Delaware County, and another 2-sport athlete, but the only one that I noticed who plays on the men's volleyball team in high school.
Yeah, Tyus and Ben are like two peas in a pod. They're both like funny dudes. And so Tyus, again, another guy that was highly recruited and we identified really early, and Coach Burton got him locked in the middle of the summer, and so we had, Tyus and Ben locked up right away, and, offensive line was a priority for this recruiting class. And so really feel good about all 7 of them that are coming in. So it's a big class. It was a big need for us. And so I thought we hit a home run in terms of recruiting that position. And Tyus is a winner. I mean, he there isn't anything that we don't like on film from Tyus. He's 6'3", 285 pounds. I mean, he can down block, he can reach block. I mean, he can pass block. I mean, he is really well coached, and he just wants to win, and he's just got a winning attitude. And he's been on campus, I mean, so many times. I mean, I've lost count. And, so they don't mind the drive at all from Ohio, and his parents are great, and he's got a great family and a little brother, and so we're excited. It's a great fit for him and his family and for us, and so Tyus is going to be a big part of what we're building here.
And then the final recruit that we're talking about here on signing day in the class is the one who will be traveling the farthest from his high school, Derek Bryant. Again, slot, punt returner, kick returner, 5'8", 160 pounds, out of Pinellas Park High School in Florida. That's suburban St. Petersburg. Second team All-State wide receiver down in the state of Florida. And again, another multi-sport athlete, only 5'8", but playing basketball as well as football.
Yeah, if you're interested in watching some highlights, go watch his highlight tape. It's 13 minutes of electricity, okay? And so, we couldn't find a guy like Derek here in Michigan. And so, you watch his tape and he's unreal. I mean, it's a wow. And he is dynamic as any player I've ever recruited in Florida. I've recruited Florida for 10 years, and I've never had the opportunity to scoop up a guy like this. And so he had a lot of Division I stuff going on, and fell in our lap. And his head coach Ken Crawford is a really good friend of mine. We've known each other for 10 years, and so we've developed a great relationship. And he told me he was going to help gift wrap this one for me. But Derek's got a really cool personality, and he was just here on a visit, and we ran him around a little bit, and it's just like your eyes just pop out of your head, And so if you're bored, go type in Derek Bryant Huddle, and if you want to be entertained, I know Gabe Soto's sitting in here, and he didn't know which highlights to cut because they went on forever, And so I said, yeah, I said Derek's a pretty good player, and so Coach Prudhomme and I went to Florida, and we spent a week there, and I introduced Coach Prudhomme to the Florida lifestyle, and fortunately it was freezing when we were there, so we didn't get great weather, but we got a great player, so it was worth the trip for sure. And there was a lot of great players down there, but we did so well in Michigan, we didn't have to bring a whole bunch back. So really, we went down there and got a really special dynamic guy at the slot position that can really return punts and kicks and is a home run guy. And so ecstatic that Derek's with us, and you know, he loved his visit here, and we loved his personality, and I think there's going to be really great things to come when you watch him on the field. It's because he's a wow.
Closing thoughts on this recruiting class and what you want people to know about the first recruiting class that you're bringing in here as a head coach at SVSU.
Yeah, you know, I feel great. I feel like we got everything that we wanted, you know, and so I look at the balance positionally. You know, we landed 20 guys on offense and 15 on defense. You know, that breakdown. You know, we got 1 quarterback, 3 running backs, 4 slot receivers, 2 wide receivers, 3 tight ends, 7 offensive linemen. Great balance offensively, and then defensively the same thing. You know, we got 3 defensive ends, 3 defensive tackles, so we brought in 6 defensive linemen. So, you know, our emphasis was on, you know, the offensive and defensive lines. That was like a huge priority for us, you know, and then we brought in 5 linebackers, and so we wanted to get longer and more athletic there. I felt like we did that. And then the 4 defensive backs we got were exceptional. And so I was really pinching myself there, and, you know, then I got the left-footed kicker that are hard to find, you know, and I didn't have to look far. I just looked across the street, and there he was, you know. And so I felt great there, and then regionally I just felt like we really did a nice job, you know. Southwest Michigan, we got 4 kids. West Michigan, we got 4. East Michigan, we got 17. Northern Michigan, we got 3, and then we had 4 from out of state. We got a kid from Ohio, a kid from Illinois, Florida. We're still waiting on 1 more that I'm hoping to hear good news when I walk out of this press conference. So there's still 1 out there on the loose that we've been chasing for a long time. But, you know, I mean, we have 2 state champions in this class, 1 that's a 3-time state champion, you know, 6 kids that were state runner-ups, okay, that played in a championship game. 34 out of the 36 kids were on playoff teams this year. 22 all-state kids, you know, every player in the class was an all-conference guy. I mean, so, you know, we felt great about recruiting winners and competitors and guys that are really focused on being the best they can be. And I really felt great about, you know, the high level of academic guys that we recruited. I mean, this is really a really great class in terms of guys, in terms of grade point averages, test scores, you know, and that's really like what makes me most proud is, you know, I mean, our current team GPA is like a 2.85 right now, and in the fall semester, you know, we had a 2.92, you know, and 5 players with a perfect 4.0 GPA in the fall, 24 players with a 3.5 GPA or higher, 48 players with a 3.0 GPA or higher, and then, you know, 77 total players there combined with a 3.0 GPA or higher. I mean, that's incredible. So, you know, we stress academics here, and so I tell the kids, you know, academics are first, you know, and football's first. Those are your 2 first priorities. And our guys are internalizing that message. They're doing really well academically. But just really pleased with, you know, the job my staff has done, and, you know, the job and the things that are happening here, the culture shift, and the energy in the program is awesome. It's been contagious. It continues to grow every day. So it's an exciting time to come to work. You know, but I'm most proud of the way that my current players are treating others on campus and the way that they're conducting themselves. Those reports that I get from, you know, everyone around campus is what makes me smile. Is, you know, hey, coach, your guys are saying please and thank you, and they're holding the doors open, and they're saying hi, how are you, and they're greeting people and smiling, and so that's awesome. And so, you know, the culture shift here and the energy level within the program is great right now. And so, so yeah, just, you know, feel great about the first recruiting class. You know, I got a few list of thank yous that I'd like to quickly go through. And, you know, first I'd like to thank Eric Brookhouse and his 2 assistants, Gabe Soto and Carly Duke. You know, they coordinated a lot of this stuff with Coach Sanalato in terms of the graphics and the edits, and so it was an incredible job by, you know, Eric and his department. I got to thank, you know, President Bashan and VP Molador and all the administrators over there in Wicks, as well as my AD John Decker and Angela Pohl and the entire athletic department for their support. The support so far has been incredible here. I mean, I feel blessed every day. You know, things are going great. The people here are great. I got to thank Michael Pierce, our compliance officer, for all his work here and getting all the NLIs out, and getting everything back in time for the press conference here. So Michael's been great to work with, and I got to thank my wife and my daughter, because I haven't seen them in about 2 months, but we've been working hard, and it's all been worth it today. It's been a great class. But I got to thank all the alums as well. The support from the alumni, I mean, it's awesome, and Coach LaFleur hits you up and wants to know how recruiting's going, and Jeff Heath and Jeff Janis and Eugene Marv and John DeGiorgio. I mean, I go on and on here, so these guys were all texting me last week, and I appreciate their support, and they're really engaged and excited, and that's what makes Cardinal football so great. So we've had so many great ones, and so I told them, I said, tune in on Wednesday, because I'm going to show you some new ones that you're going to be really excited about. And so, we're excited, and we're just getting started. The best is yet to come, and so we're excited to focus our energy now on spring ball and to get back working with our guys and focus on the 2020 season and get ready to go out there and earn it.